Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Trek, Season 1, Episode 7, The Bad of Trek. And that sounds like my audio wants to play up again. So in the last few seconds of the credits about to start to roll, my audio decided to play up. So I'm going to blame the Chief Engineer, who's not here. He's broken the subsystems.
Good day.
And we'll just have to reprimand him when he finally turns up. So I'm here with my number one, Commander Kyoko. Greetings.
Greetings.
How you doing? Fine morning.
Hello. Yeah, fine morning, good night. I think that's where we are right now. The sun's going to come through my window any minute. Just blind me. I can feel it.
Well, the sun's definitely gone down in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's creeping. It's creeping. It's right about there. So eventually it's going to be right on my screen. It's going to be great.
So Lieutenant Chris is checking on some special assignments. That we can't talk about because it's a special assignment. Blame the dogs, always easy to do. True.
So what you're saying is he dressed in black spandex and he's crawling through the cave somewhere on special assignment.
Yes. So what does everyone think of my new overlay? I made this pretty much today.
I like it. I want to poke at it. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I want to press the buttons.
Boop, boop, boop,
Resolution up a little bit. And along with the overlay, there's new alerts. So if anybody donates to Whiskey Trek, there will be special alerts. I've also just launched the merch, and there is currently only a couple shirts on there, but there is some basic t-shirts in the color of science and from the original series. So there's a yellow shirt, there's a blue shirt, and there's a red shirt with the little, down the bottom there, little Delta insignia with the Glencairn in it. So I shall hopefully have one of them soon, so I'll be able to wear one of them on Whiskey Trek. It should be awesome. I like it. I wish I had a bigger screen. Yeah, I wish I had this on a big screen. It would definitely be cool. So, I don't know where the rest of my crew has disappeared off to. I didn't give them all leave. Yeah, communications officer has got leave because she's not feeling too well. So she's in sick bay. Our science officer said that she was going to be turning up. She came back from leave on Riser from the last episode, but she is nowhere to be seen. So our chief operations officer, he's got leave. He's on a special mission, and Commander Tats and Commander Lil on special missions as well. So they're not here, but our engineer's not here. Our chief medical officer, he said he was going to be here, but he's obviously disappeared.
Yep, you're stuck with us and some wonky sound
these days. Say again?
I said they're stuck with us and some wonky sound occasionally.
Is my sound going wonky again?
It's doing a little on and off, like randomly.
So annoying.
So you'll sound fine, and then it'll go.
Half assimilated.
Pretty much.
Right. I'll try one thing. Do that.
Oddly enough, I always think of the whenever something gets weird, all of a sudden you go like the guy from The Simpsons, like the doctor or scientist or whatever the heck he is.
Ah, there it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so annoying.
It sounds kind of like those effects you have for when you're doing Borg stuff.
They're all turned off. I even just loaded the program with no settings loaded whatsoever.
Weird.
Holodeck technician is stuck in a holo sim and has not been able to come out of it. Oh,
that does happen.
Sounds like we need to sound some rescue crew.
Right, and I bet we can't beam them out because of interference.
And especially with our engineer, since he hasn't fixed that radioactive thing that's been leaking from the warp core.
Yep. As long as we're still flying, though, we're good. We're on the bridge. It's all fine. Don't panic.
Yeah, we're all good.
We don't have to hit self-destruct yet. We don't need to go to red alert. At least we're both here. It's
Right.
like, okay, activate destruct sequence. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do it.
Yeah, it has to be 2 of us, so we're golden. If we want to blow up the whole ship, no problem. Everyone else on the ship's gonna have a
Escape
problem. But,
shuttle.
yeah, I know where mine is.
I'm gonna put a poll up.
Pull it up.
So the poll will be: do you like post 2009 Trek? Yes or no? So me personally,
That's neat.
I'm not really a fan of post 2009 Trek. When the movie came out, I was kind of optimistic, thinking it might be good, and I
Like the
kind of
reboot.
enjoyed it. And I thought, okay, well, this is like the original series, new take on it. This could be pretty cool. But after that, it went to garbage.
To the reboot
And
movies.
the first movie was okay-ish, but the one thing that really bugged me was building the Enterprise on Earth.
How dare they?
Really?
Every time I see ships being built, they're in space, but I don't know.
Exactly. Like, you have a massive ship, you build that in space dock. Even the International Space Station here, we built it in space, in pieces, and we took it up. You wouldn't build the whole Starship Enterprise on Earth. That makes no sense whatsoever.
It feels like an outdated way of thinking. Like, I know right now in the past, I mean, we used to have to build ships on the ground and then propel them with huge amounts of fuel into the sky. That was how we did it, and it kind of worked. But if we were already up there with all the equipment and everything, why not just somehow get it up there? Oh no, replicators. That's what we use. That's right. Everything can be replicated. Just put it together like
Transporters,
Legos.
replicators.
Legos in space. Transporters, Legos
Yeah,
in space.
exactly.
It's fine.
They go in space. Can we have a kind of or some vote? We might be able to do that. I'll see if I can edit it. All right, I'll redo it. All right, so I've turned my sound stuff off. I'm going to turn that off so I don't hear myself in my earpiece because that's really annoying. Right, so I'm going to redo the poll. Clicking on that, add option. On off. Sort of.
Yeah, the reboot movies. I've only seen the first one, I think. I feel like I did. The 2009 ones, I mean.
Good day,
Oh, the movies.
Mr.
Yeah.
Whiskey Shits.
Oh,
Good
here's
day.
trouble.
Nightbot.
Oh, Nightbot.
Nightbot.
What?
Just said Mr. Whiskey Shits is lurking and working a jerking a twerking.
Nightbot, what? Are you okay? Your coffee?
Kelvin movies. I have if I type correctly. Kelvin movies. Discovery. Picard.
All the words.
Yep.
I do find it funny that we have like technology today that's similar to Star Trek stuff, like just talking to our phones. It's always fun. Kind of like the Google Assistant stuff, and some people have the freaking what's the Amazon one? Siri?
Echo, Alexa thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, Alexa.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of stuff. I voted. I'm the only one who's voted.
Yeah, I don't have any of that stuff. I don't trust any of that stuff.
I don't care. If they want my info, they're gonna get it one way or another.
I just don't like the idea of someone on the internet when you're streaming, whatever, can say, "Oh, order 500 kilos of corn," and next minute you've got 500 kilos.
Oh yeah. No, that like I don't deal with anything that involves money ordering things, but like the Google Assistant, I'll ask it stupid questions, that kind of thing. Say good morning, it'll be like, "Hello, Brian. How are you today?" And they'll like tell me like shit I need to remember for the day, and then play music. That's it.
Yeah. I do like the idea that something isn't connected to the internet, that I can control stuff around the house, So if I ever got to build a house, I'd turn this light off or turn the music on, or cool stuff like that. But I don't want it to be an Internet of Thing device. I want it to be disconnected.
Yeah, my once one of my neighbors who isn't there anymore, like every day, she woke up stupidly early and was, "Alexa, lights." And boop, lights come on. Probably it was weird.
Yep.
I don't know how she did it. I was kind of curious, honestly.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I'd want Alexa or Google doing that, but I do like the idea of a voice command thing, because then you could be on Star Trek, especially if you had your doors open, you could make the sounds when someone was at your doorbell. Ding.
Unfortunately, it's also they had like enter and like fuck off, lock the doors, no, go away.
Alexa has ordering turned off without any possibility of undoing that. Really? There has to be a way of undoing that. Okay, so this is what Sugar Kitty reckons. So first movie was crap, mostly a setup for the later one. Second movie was good. Are you talking about the Khan remake? The rest went to hell quick.
I didn't see that
one. You actually liked the Khan remake, Sugar Kitty? The Enter Darkness? That was the second one, yeah. Or was that the third one? What was the third one?
I just know Spock was on one of them. Or Leonard Nimoy was on one of them, I think.
Yes, he was on the first one and second one. Or he was only on the second one.
Yeah, he was the himself from the future or something. It was
he was in the first one and the second one. That's right. He was in the first one and the second, because in the second one he contacted himself to get information about Khan.
I actually watched the movie. I think I told you that, the old one.
Yeah,
there was some weird shit in it. Putting bugs in ears and stuff. Ah.
Well, that was in the original. Only Khan remake to me was okay. Yeah, so that kind of, I liked Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor. He's a really good actor, and he played a good Khan. But it's just you can't remake the best Star Trek movie ever, which is Wrath of Khan. You just can't. You can't do that. That's just not on. Make something original. There's so much content out there that people have written. So many novels, so many comics. Why couldn't they come up with an original idea? And then, flipping who died and yeah. No. No. Just no.
Yeah, I'm always a bit sketch on remakes. It's one of those where it's like, well, are we at that point where we just have no more ideas what to make, or it's just we know people like this, let's do that again and make more money, kind of thing.
Oh, Chris, now you're talking. Yeah, this is an episode we should do, actually, non-canon Star Trek. So, we could talk about some of the awesome novels, the comics, and awesome fan-produced content like Renegades, which has got a lot of Star Trek alumni in it. The only thing I didn't like about the last one that they did was the soundtrack was so bad. It was horrible. Great story, great acting, all that, but the music, it was so bad. It was just wrong tempo, too loud, too quiet. It was all over.
Like that?
It didn't have that. That would have been better.
Oh, all right.
If you don't like remakes, then the whole idea of a movie is off the table. I didn't mind the idea of doing the remake, of relaunching, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, but it just went bad really quickly, which was such a shame, because they were good actors and it had really good potential. And now they're
did.
talking about it for like the 10th time about redoing the 4th one. But, you know, it seems to be every single time there seems to be at Paramount, they're having a bit of a press junket funding type event that seems to be just quite around the same time. Seems to be this new press thing coming out about a new movie that never seems to turn into anything. Right about the time we have all this stuff. Coincidence, maybe? Yeah, I mean, Jar Jar Abrams has definitely ruined lots of our beloved stuff. Yep, dollars, 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 and dollars, and dollars. So far, we have only a few votes. We've got 5 votes. 20% people said yes. 80% of people said kind of, sorta. So I'm talking with the poll. I'm talking all of post 2009 Star Trek. So since Enterprise ended, what do you think of the current iteration of Star Trek under Bad Robot and Secret Hideout, Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams?
I know I like seeing a bunch of the actors again. That's really where it kind of stands for me. It's not always the show, but who is performing. And I think that's just like the theater person in me. It likes seeing these people who I really adored growing up doing stuff again.
Yep, I mean, I totally agree. That was awesome to see Riker, Troy, Picard.
I was so happy to see them again. I'm like, they're still alive! Yay!
Yay, they're still there! Cool. We get to see them new content. The only downside with that was they got shat all over. Their characters got shat all over, which was a bit of a shame. Yeah, true. Well, it doesn't have to. I mean, if you look at something like Cobra Kai, I mean, that is a really well done show in the same universe that carried on paying homage really well to the existing story and universe, but creating a new universe at the same time without treading all over the stuff that was before that made them able to make the current stuff. That's a really good example. Which I don't think current Star Trek has done that. They put lots of member berries in, but they don't actually continue the universe without their woke agenda type stuff, which is a real shame.
Everyone wants to be woke nowadays.
So personally,
you said Cobra Kai. I'm like, what the hell? I don't remember that. Wait a minute. I don't know what that is now.
Karate Kid.
Yeah. I never watched any of it, but because I'm always very hesitant to like dive in right away with stuff that's been improved upon or the next part, the next stage in some ways. But I'm glad to hear they did well. The Cobra Kai thing.
Oh, it's done really well. I mean, it was only on YouTube to start off with, but then it got picked up by Amazon. I think was it Amazon?
I don't know. Maybe.
I can't remember who picked it up now. Somebody picked it up anyway. But yeah, it was just launched on YouTube Red, like the first season and second season. I even bought a subscription to YouTube Red when it was called YouTube Red.
You said that, I'm like, oh, that's why I might have been aware of it, but that's it.
Yep. And yeah, it was really well done. And then the second season was and then they brought out the third one. But that was when it was bought out or sold to whoever. Actually, I think it was Netflix.
Karate. Probably.
Might have been Netflix.
Gets lots of stuff. Netflix is its own thing now.
Yeah, it's a huge entity upon itself. It's pretty much the Borg. I mean, they simulate everything.
I'm okay with it. I was watching Netflix yesterday. I watch it all the time because I don't want to watch TV. And if just knowing Star Trek's on there, I can watch all the episodes. I'm like, okay, let's do that.
I love it. Yep, I do that. Yeah, it's so awesome. You just kick back. I mean, I watched a couple of the original series a couple of weeks back. It was great. Just kick back, watch a couple of the originals.
Mm-hmm. I know they have some good episodes and bad episodes. I don't know all the original stuff because I haven't watched it as in the same way that I do the newer stuff that I grew up with. I did have a list.
Same. Yeah.
A list of some of the episodes where it's like, what?
Yeah. It's good actually going back watching the original because, I haven't watched it as much as...
It feels so weird.
Like the modern day stuff, but you can see how dated it is and, how much money they didn't have. And
it's so bizarre when it's like, this is what they thought computers would be like, apparently. Just boop,
I,
boop,
I just
lights.
I was looking when Scotty in engineering, and it's just pretty much like a pegboard with a few buttons and lights on it, and I'm like, wow.
Yep.
Yep.
I went back. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah.
well, that it looked really high tech for the time. That's kind of how.
If you look like at an engineering room in like a World War II battleship, for example, I mean, oh my god, there's so many cool knobs and dials and pipes and cool stuff, which, you know, you'd think that, I don't know, the impression of the future was supposed to be more slicker and cleaner and not so
If you go
grungy
back
and
to some of
dusty looking. But
the early sci-fi stories, they were struggling because they could not imagine how far ahead things would advance. I mean, no one really can. You can always hope for, but it's always just it's the stuff that leads up to that. So like the ideas and thoughts of that time will lead into the possibility of making similar things in the future, but never exactly the same thing. And I think with the early sci-fi stories, they're all kind of grasping the idea of electronics and technology and even screens instead of radio kind of thing. But at least when I've heard a bunch of the sci-fi stuff, like my father's done a bunch of old sci-fi books, it's almost exactly the same thing that you see on the early Star Trek. They were kind of describing it in that way because that's all they got.
Yeah, that's like if you read Asimov or anything like that, it's the same kind of stuff. Yeah.
Weird. And they were smoking cigarettes still, so that's always the hilarious part.
Well, everyone's smoking. Why wouldn't you keep smoking? Oh, come on.
Why would we stop doing that? It's such the norm. It's hilarious.
Way too much lens flare is Abrams' signature. Yeah, just flash and you got. There's two things that Abrams is really good about. You got to have the lens flares, you got to have Dutch angles, and you got to have MacGuffin boxes. So magic black box. There's always got to be some MacGuffin that you have to go chase. That's his plot lines. Tears was what I grew up with because I saw the first reruns at age 6 to 7. Yeah, well, that's kind of when I saw them as well. I remember my earliest memory is seeing my mum watching because she liked Star Trek, and then, you know, being like 5 years old and walking in and mum was watching the rerun of Star Trek, and I remember seeing these guys in these red shirts on different planets and stuff, and I thought, wow, this is cool.
Spandex.
And, yeah, ever since.
Actually, they didn't have spandex back then, did they? They had just regular things, regular outfits.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
Whiskey Samurai.
G'day, Whiskey Samurai. Yeah, like one of my cars. The original is great, but it has some good and bad. Yep, totally. I mean, that's like anything and stuff.
I can say one. I want to start with like the early stuff, like the original Star Trek series that we're talking about, because there's a few episodes in there. Well, I mean, if you look at all of the episodes from now, a lot of them get pretty out there, but that's the point. But the one that I was looking into, trying to find, you know, some of the worst actual episodes, and when it popped up, and I was like, oh yeah, that was kind of really weird, where Spock loses his brain.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, like, hello? Really?
That's not how. I mean, future, yeah, but okay. I think there's a certain point in sci-fi where you have to, like, at some point it's a stretch. Yeah, there's a disbelief part where it's like, and removing someone's brain completely and having their body still walk around. It's like, well, yeah, sci-fi, but also, wow, what, huh?
Yeah, like that's like, you think, okay, well, it's sci-fi. You think, okay, it's going to be in the future. They're going to have really advanced technology and medical stuff. But then you go, okay, what we know about that today is like, how there's a disconnect there somewhere.
Brain removal equals dead. That's usually what it is.
Yep. Spock's brain was total crap. A dead corpse with a remote control attached. Yeah, I know, right? Because that's they thought that how you could do it. Yeah.
Just take out his brain and his body still moves around.
Engage. Whiskey cheers. Engage. Whiskey cheers. Make it
engage. Careful, if you say engage, we just suddenly all just jolt forward to nowhere.
Red shirts? We didn't have color TV in the 70s to 71. Well, I'm talking like 79 when I saw it. You're a little bit older than me, Kitty. So yeah, I'm talking late 70s.
I don't remember the 70s.
Yeah, because I remember we still had a black and white TV, and then because my dad had a little black and white TV, but we had a color television. So
do you remember that?
Yeah,
I do remember black and white TV for a while, which makes me feel much older suddenly.
It does. It does.
I remember black and white television.
Yeah,
but you have to keep in mind, like, there are people who remember before television. So
yeah, that's very true. Way before. So Captain, did the tip notification get updated as well for tonight? Yes, everything has been updated. So there's new alerts, everything.
If you want to scare the captain, go ahead.
Yes. Well, actually, it'll go through everybody. Everybody will hear it. But it's only a one little sound. Beep. If you saw more than... What's that? If you say more like 80s than actually past the original reruns you saw when the resurrection of TOS with the series begins.
If the original series didn't do well, I think is what she's saying. Like, when it first came out, the original series, it was like, what? And then when they rebooted it, well, not rebooted it, but they played it rerun, is when people actually got into it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, once it went into syndication, that's when it became really, really popular. And that's, when you had pretty much the first cult following, and then all the letters that went in and say, you got to bring this back. And then it came back, and then...
Do more of the science and the tech. Space. Was that around the time of the space race? It must have been.
Didn't even get TV until they were going to land on the moon. That's when a lot of people got TV. Yep.
There's something my brother told me about. Oh fuck, I forgot. Oh damn. Heck, shoot. That my brother told me about. Where
you can swear, it is allowed. Okay,
well, there's some kind of series. I do. I don't know about other people though. It's free country. I mean, it's there's a. I'm not gonna.
We're in the future.
Yeah, it's language is a thing. Censorship shouldn't be censorship shouldn't be imposed on your everyday life.
It's the way you use the word in the right context, in the connotation that matters.
Yeah, if you're using it hostility and negativity, that's probably not great. But if you're just saying "fuck," and I know some of the languages some of the words you use, I can't really use because it's just a whole different thing up here. I've said it before among friends because it's a friendly thing to say to friends, but you say it in other ways. Like if I said out in public, people just look at me like, "What? What have you done?"
Oh yeah, well, it's the same. If
it begins with a C, begins with a C.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. If you say it in close friends that you know each other, then it's fine.
Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, there's a series my brother was watching. He told me about it. I totally forgot to look it up, but it was I think it's on right now, where they talk about if the Russians had got to the moon first instead of us, instead of America. I forget what it's called.
What's that called?
I forget. So I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah. I've watched like the first season of that. I hope I still got a bit more to watch of that. What's new? Something man.
For All Mankind.
Yes, that's it.
Can I open a tab?
That was interesting.
Look it up. Yeah, my brother seemed to dig it, and I like the idea. He told me about it. I forgot.
So it seems like there's a lot more people that kind of sort of like post 2009 Star Trek. Me personally, I'm not much of a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would associate it with something like this abomination,
Jim Beam
bourbon. It has the word bourbon, but if you look at the fine print, it says not even fine print. It's 37%. So it's got the word bourbon on it, like Star Trek. It's got the label Star Trek on it, but when you look at it, it really isn't. It's an abomination. So that's what I think.
What was the words we used for that? It was regulation or
guidelines.
Guidelines, yeah, the guidelines for whiskey itself
isn't a bourbon.
Yeah, they're kind of twisting them up a bit there.
Just a little bit, because this is actually shipped over in big trucks of shit to Australia and it's bottled here, and that's how they can get away with labeling it bourbon,
Yeah.
which it isn't
No.
technically.
It's like saying Fireball is whiskey.
Yeah.
Fireball. And I'm trying to get. I'm trying to subtly get shelf turds, like humorously, where I say Fireball is shit. Only expert whiskey folk drink. What the hell's it called? Goldschlager. Something absolutely absurd like that. Goldschlager is so much better than Fireball, just because. I think it's hilarious.
Or Malort.
Oh God, not Malort. No. At least Goldschlager's in the same vein, where it's like a cinnamon thing. And I probably do like Goldschlager more than Fireball, but that's just because I grew up with it. That was my Fireball, basically, Goldschlager.
Yep. For me, it's my 4.5 liter Jim Beam White Label. It's 40%, but only used for cooking.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, I had another episode. Where was it?
At
least the original stuff.
Okay. The original ones. I always keep thinking of the good ones. I'm trying to remember the shitty ones, because you kind of just
one called. Yeah, you put them in the back of your mind and never think about it again.
Yeah.
The Way to Eden. The Way to Eden is one that came up when I looked up horrible episodes. Oh, there's trouble.
Yeah, there's trouble. Hello, Chief.
Good morning, or evening in your case.
Good day.
Good day.
G'day.
You can say that at any point in time.
Did you have some good rest?
Mm-hmm.
Hydrate.
Hydrate.
So the one I was thinking about from Star Trek that came up was something called The Way to Eden, where it was basically a hippie cult.
Oh,
sort of thing.
God, that's the original series, isn't it?
Yes, I'm trying to start near the beginning.
Yeah, yep.
And I don't know if it was like the producers or something, but they made the hippie movement out to be these like
Yep.
troublemakers and just almost self-destructive sort of thing. I don't know it. I only remember watching it kind of, but even the idea of it, where it's like this hippie cult they had to chase down, and Spock was kind of interested in their culture, sort of thing. It's interesting, but it was clearly like them taking something from the generation that was happening then and plunking it down in the future and being like, yeah, these damn hippies kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah. And the only other one I have for the original stuff is "And the Children Shall Lead," where they find these children on a planet. I guess all the parents are dead, all the adults are dead, and the kids just kind of go nuts. And that was it. They were relying on child actors for the entire thing.
There's something interesting. So TOS was huge on college campuses, and no matter what anyone else thought, Way to Eden was really popular back then.
Oh, I bet it was.
Yep, all the hippies.
But there was a disconnect, I think. Like the people producing it were portraying the whole hippie culture as a negative, and then the people who watched it thought it was a positive because it was shining a light on what they were trying to accomplish, the whole getting in tune with nature thing, which I'm all for, man.
Yeah, there was that whole cheesy thing with Spock playing that lyre instrument.
Fly flute thing. Yep.
Groovy,
man.
I'm going to drop out for 1 second.
Okay.
He beamed himself out.
Yeah, he does that. I think that was it for at least the original. I'm sure there are other ones. That's I only did like a brief.
There are a couple other bad ones.
If you have one in mind, let me know, because those are the three that came up with my minimal amount of looking things up.
Look at the list. I thought that's what you're going to do. You're going to change your name, because I don't know anyone. Diagnostics Day. The question I put in the poll is, what do you think of, like, do you or do you don't, or kind of sort of like post 2009? So the Kelvin movies, the Discovery, Picard, and Lower Decks. So pretty much, Secret Hideout and Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams and Kurt Klutzman. Can't call him Kurtzman, it's Klutzman. What do you think of their stuff?
What I've seen so far, because I haven't seen all of it, I've seen very little Discovery. I've seen some of Lower Decks. I've seen about half of Picard. And I've seen 2 of the 3 movies. Some of it's okay. Like I didn't mind the first of the 3 movies. I didn't care for Into Darkness. I didn't see the point in rehashing a movie that didn't need to be rehashed.
I agreed, but Sugar Kitty actually liked it. Out of the 3,
it wasn't awful, but it was just like
no.
Some of it just didn't work.
No.
What I've seen of Lower Decks, yeah. And the third one I'm planning on watching soon, just so I can see all 3. Lower Decks, what I've seen of it, I didn't mind. For what it is, it's fine. It's entertaining.
It's cartoons, man. I love cartoons. Star Trek cartoons. I'm in.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much.
Picard I got halfway through and got irritated with, but I'll probably finish that at some point, if only to be caught up for the 2nd season. And I can't comment on Discovery. So yeah, some of it's okay. I think there's potential there. I have hope that the new series that they're filming, what is it? Brave New Worlds, Strange New Worlds, I think.
New Worlds. Yeah.
Will be good, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, that's it. I hope so as well. But with Klutzman still at the helm, it's kind of scary.
I don't know why I blanked out on what Discovery was. I was like, what the hell? I feel like I've watched that. I have no idea. Oh, duh. Yeah, I did.
I think that's the consensus. I mean, you ask most people, and they're like, "Oh, I've only seen a bit of it." But like, we're diehard Trek fans, and back in the day when like a new episode came out, you couldn't wait to go watch the new episode. These days, it's like,
I only get that way. I only get that way, like special, like weekly release stuff has been the latest thing over the past year. I think it's not Star Trek stuff. It's some like Discovery. I did watch pretty much on point because last year, and lately it's been like Marvel stuff because they're doing all this freaking stuff I don't want to watch. Damn it, Loki and what was the other one? Falcon, Winter Soldier, and I feel like there's something else I'm missing. I watched it probably, but I'm blanking out on what it is.
Even though I thought the second movie was the okay one, I also agree there was no need for it. The original was better. I agree with that. The second movie was like acting-wise, plot-wise, kind of made sense. But yeah, if the other movie never existed, the original,
Nurse Dave's Shaving World.
Kind of. Nurse Dave Shaving World. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome.
WandaVision. Damn it.
I mean, I did like that super duper Section 31 type ship. What was the class was that on that? I'm trying to remember the class now. That's an awesome ship. I did like that ship.
Oh yeah, from Discovery. I lost track. I got distracted.
No, from Enter Darkness, the second Kelvin timeline.
Okay.
The giant ship that Peter Weller was in command of, the big black ship there.
The one you can even shoot the shit out of in warp and all that kind of stuff. Shh, we don't talk about that, Captain. Yes, T'Pol was definitely enjoyable to watch. Nothing wrong with Enterprise. I'd crave for something like Enterprise these days because what we get now is pretty. But anyway, so yeah, Jim, I paired Klutzman, J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot, Secret Hideout Star Trek as this. It's got the word bourbon on it, but it's not. Like it's meant to be whiskey, and it's got whiskey type stuff in it, but it tastes like shit. So that's what modern day Star Trek gives me a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, the USS
Vengeance class. USS Vengeance, yeah. It's not a Vengeance class. I can't remember the name. Yeah, I got it in Star Trek Online. I got it and I thought it was cool.
All right, I think I'm going to dip into the Next Generation stuff now as far as episodes go, because that's mostly what I pinned this on.
I mean,
weird episodes.
Yeah, I don't have any pairings off the top of my head, but as far as the original series goes, I mean, the ones that jump out to me are obviously Spock's brain.
Mm-hmm.
Which
that's what. Yep.
That was the first one we brought up. Like Spock's brain. Yep.
How do you get a
Cat's
robot
paw.
controlling?
I like the idea of Spock being remote controlled. That's pretty funny.
I mean, that wasn't a bad idea, but the way they would have bought it was just goofy.
Yep.
Cat's paw, because Star Trek needed a Halloween episode with a giant black cat.
Of course.
Another one comes to mind, but I don't know exactly what it is. Somehow Abraham Lincoln was on the show.
Oh,
For some reason.
Yeah. That was in Next Gen, wasn't it?
no,
no,
that was the original series. I don't know that one was necessarily bad.
That's just weird. It's like Abe Lincoln.
It was
Okay.
weird. Like, yeah, there was a whole bunch of historical figures. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was some.
I think it was.
They were on some planet.
Sarek?
Some planet getting messed with.
Yeah, something was happening. They pulled in the best of
talk
the.
of doing some more Enterprise based on the last episode of Enterprise with Admiral Asher. See, if they did that kind of, that'd be cool. But yeah, that's never gonna happen. Especially not with Klutzman.
Next generation stuff before I forget.
Donald
I will.
Rance.
Go ahead.
Oh, there's trouble.
G'day, Donald. This way's mission has been successful. The blow up Bavarian mud-made doll has been secured in the Madness will ensure tonight. Excellent. It's good to see our operations officer is definitely using his talents in other operations.
I'm trying to start in the right order. Okay, the one that came to mind, or a bunch of them that I actually have here, not just came to mind, but where they first introduced the Ferengi, the last outpost.
I know which one you're talking about.
The whips.
Is that the one with the Stargazer?
Yeah, the whips, where they basically landed on this planet.
Whips.
They got stuck there. There was this, all-knowing being who was questioning them, and of course, the unfortunate part is the Ferengi being introduced with their whips, and then being just like that the whole time. It's like, chill out. It's just an alien species. They don't have to be like rats running around trying to steal everything. Just knock it off.
Yeah, they certainly
I
evolved
remember that
into
episode.
flushed out species.
It was one of the earlier ones, and that was just it was not a good introduction for the Ferengi. Not at all.
It was also the first appearance of Armin Shimmerman, who would go on to be Quark.
Yes, he was actually a Ferengi. That was the fun part. He was an actual original Ferengi. And then later on, he fixed it. He's like, I'm a bartender and I want money. Boom, done.
And he's one of the most beloved characters of this space.
And he's talked about it. He's been like, it wasn't great.
And he's gone on to write really good Shakespeare stuff.
I want to see Ferengi's Shakespeare. That's what I want now. Look what you've done.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, is Shakespeare meant to be you don't understand it until you read it in an original Klingon?
Yeah, exactly. Klingon operas.
Yep.
Another one, this is a bit of a touchy one because of what it is. The Next Generation Code of Honor, where there is bartering for a vaccine, kidnapping of Tashiar, and wait, why are they all black? That one, where it was not good. I mean, I don't think they realized what was happening when they did that. I clearly hope they didn't. But, having this advanced people who just are kind of barbaric and, steal women so they can have another wife. And, they're holding back the vaccine. And not good. Vaccine that'll save countless lives, of course. But,
TNG with the Ferengi is called Last Outpost. And JG, no, Armin Shimmerman is still alive, who played Quark, but the actor, Mr. Heisenberg, not Heisenberg, Nog. He passed away.
As did Odo, unfortunately.
Yeah, Renee Jonas has passed away, unfortunately, as well.
Renee Arbenois. You can't pronounce that correctly.
Yeah, that's it, Arbenois. Yep.
Aaron Eisenberg,
Yeah, Aaron Eisenberg, yep. I knew it was Eisenberg, but every time I say Eisenberg, I always keep thinking of the scientist Eisenberg, and I'm like,
I think Hindenburg for some reason.
Hindenburg, Eisenberg, yep.
That's another episode I haven't seen.
Yep, it was Nog.
Got to rewatch all of it. It's your homework.
Yeah. So another bad TNG one was the one with a The but they were all drunk. That was a pretty ordinary episode.
Oh,
That was one of the early ones.
The Naked Now, right? It was the one that
Naked
was
they took from the
redo,
early one.
Yeah, it was a redo of the Naked Time or Amok Time.
That weird powder
Naked
stuff.
Time. But they encountered the Silikovsky, and there was some weird
Everyone died. That's
bacteria
what
on the ship that they picked up and transferred over, and so they all got drunk. That was one where Data and Tasha Yar got.
That was the only good bit. That's when Data said he's fully operational.
I like the fact that Picard and Crusher had to like deal with each other. There's just like
yeah, that was
there you go. We were both on point there. The Hindenburg and Eisenberg, the Hindenburg uncertainty principle. There you go. Well, that's it. That's what I can think of.
Booyah.
We were both on it. Yeah.
At least my brain went somewhere it's supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that episode was terrible. I mean,
it was a weird one.
Yeah, because they basically just took the episode from the original series and wrote a new story on top of its framework.
It was
the
one
where
they were
off was garbage.
Oh, that was stupid. It's like
which one? What?
Yeah, that was garbage.
I get that they needed to write her off, but really, you can come up with anything better than having her killed by a giant sentient tar monster. Nice.
Yeah, the epitome of anger.
Yeah.
The one that hadn't been mentioned that I'm surprised, I was surprised Brian didn't mention was I think it was in the second season of TNG where they had the. Okay, then I'll let you. It's all yours.
No, tell me. I'm curious. It might be on here. It probably is.
It was the second series of second season of TNG where they had an entire alien race that was basically a horrible Irish stereotype caricature.
Oh.
It pissed everybody off.
Like, yeah. The one where they had the two survivors. Like some of them had the technology and some of them didn't, and they got split up somehow. And then the Enterprise came along.
Yeah. Another one.
And part of them was just these folks. I like my whiskey, and I got my daughter's over there, and she's angry at me again.
Yeah, that episode got all sorts of flack when it aired because it was just bad.
Yep.
I think one of my highlights from that episode is where the guy is talking about alcohol and he gives him, synthahol. He's like, "What the hell is this?" And this isn't nice. This isn't whiskey. This ain't whiskey. And then Worf comes up, Choc Taluth, gives him some of that. It's like steaming.
This is Star Trek, not Space Truckers. Somebody will get that joke.
Yeah, I just want to know. I want to know what the hell Choc Taluth is, or however you said it. Just came in this big old weird cup.
Shades of Grey, where Riker felt. Yeah.
That was because of the 1980. I have that on here, but only because it was bad because of the 1988 writers' strike. So it was just like cut and paste. You just patch something together. Yeah. But yes, that one's terrible for a good reason.
And it's pretty interesting reading, watching the documentary all about what actually happened behind the scenes with,
it was not good.
All the writers and the turmoil in the writing room and Star Trek and The Next Generation. The first 3 seasons was just a nightmare. I'm surprised anything got written at all. It was so bad.
No, feature been perfect.
It was completely messed up.
Hi.
So one character I never liked or cared for, which made sense because no one else did, and when they got rid of Beverly Crusher and
I knew where this was going.
Yeah, she just did not fit.
Yeah, Dr. Pulaski.
I feel like that was sort of the point. Like she was supposed to be like this hard ass, and I didn't like her because she didn't like Data. That was instantly a thing. It's like, oh man, what the hell's wrong with you, lady? Everyone likes Data. He's Data.
But I read and saw on documentaries and stuff that even the cast and crew didn't like her. So she didn't even fit in on the production of the show, let alone in the show.
Yeah, she was from the original too as well. She had been in the original stuff, and they just kind of like brought her.
She'd been in the original series. Yep.
Like our doctor's missing.
Was a
You were in the other show. Here, come on in. Filler in.
Yeah, you come on in. Yeah. I mean, towards the end there, she actually started to get a bit of a story behind her character, and you know, she had some good acting parts. But overall, yeah, pretty ordinary.
When she tried to save those children, that was an interesting bit where there was a disease that would like make you get old real fast, and
which again was them taking an episode from the original series and redoing it. I don't recall the name of it, but I remember that one distinctly because that was one where they all got that aging disease, and that bonehead desk jockey got set the captain's chair and had no idea what he was doing. Stupid Commodore. How did you get to the rank of Commodore and not have any freaking command experience?
That's it, Diana Madel. That's it.
Yeah, she also I know she also appeared in an episode of the original series, but I can't recall which one it was.
Okay. Somebody
I have another one. I have a few more from Next Generation.
Go ahead.
I grew up in Next Generation. One I need to have a female's perspective on, just because. So we'll see if anyone else shows up. But as the other one that just, some of them it's like you're watching the X-Files, but this is the Crusher Falls for a Ghost, Sub Rosa.
Oh yeah, that one is that.
It's just like, yeah. I mean, I like the idea, but also why is it in Star Trek? It feels like an X-Files episode.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I remember. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah. And that was near the end of the series.
Yes, aging disease we always call bump on the grumps. Come on, listen, Jim.
Okay.
Not featured the smart people on the original. That is true.
Commodore.
I'm going to disagree a little bit because there was certainly some like
episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it varies from episode to episode. Like, certainly, you know, the Commodore in that episode was a complete bumbling idiot. But on the other hand, you have someone like Matt Decker, who wasn't portrayed as incompetent. He was quite clearly suffering from PTSD because, you know, he just saw his whole crew die in one hideous instant, which would F up anybody, frankly.
Yep.
Well, I don't think he was incompetent.
It does.
Although it is interesting to note that rank vanished entirely with the Next Generation. Never came back.
No, you were talking about him. I don't remember any Commodore. It sounds really out. I have something specifically linked to the word Commodore, but I don't know what it is. It's like Commodore
based on the old
Schmidt-Lap.
naval tradition. I mean, yeah.
I don't know why I have Commodore Schmidt-Lap in my head, but it's there. I don't know what it's from. It feels like something I watched at one point. And instead of saying Commodore, I say Commodore. Was actually in 2 episodes of the original series. She was in Return to Tomorrow, which is the one with those aliens and the glass globes that took over. I think it was her, Spock, and Kirk. They were trying to find new host bodies.
Oh, yep.
They did that too.
In
No Truth in Beauty.
Yeah, is there in Truth No Beauty? Which I don't remember that one. But yeah. And sure you kidding. On it.
Yep, on it. So, any other weird races or episodes that were kind of shite?
I can move on to. Well, there's one more from Next Generation, but that was the one where I wanted female input, and I imagine some of our viewers are, maybe.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, that's right. The ambassador who basically their form would induce madness, so they were always carried around in a box.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was kind of hokey.
That was very hokey.
I mean, again, JG, I'm going to argue they were a mixed bag. I mean, you certainly had some that weren't great.
Costumes. Yeah.
Yeah, the costumes could be pretty interesting. I mean, the one that immediately jumps to my mind is, Robert Fox from A Taste of Armageddon? And I just remember him, getting all bent out of shape and basically beaming down to the planet after Scotty didn't want him to, and Scotty was like, yeah, that's it. The haggis is in the fighter for sure.
And Bassett was carried in the arm.
Yeah,
the other one I was thinking of is Angel 1 from the Next Generation. Survivor rescue mission, matriarchal society, women in charge. A bit of sexism and shallow messaging involved in that one, apparently. But that was the one where Riker had his outfit where he's like got his nipple exposed kind of thing, and he had to hang out with the lead lady.
That episode.
That was another early Next Generation.
Yeah, the one that was. It was intended to be a commentary on apartheid in South Africa. Yikes.
Yep.
Oof.
But they did find the survivors. He almost got executed, but didn't, and that was good, I guess. But hell, for the outfits, I mean, it gets a couple points for that.
Yeah,
I like the idea of a matriarchal society myself. But that's me.
Yeah, I got nothing wrong with that.
No. It's once I took.
It's like anything though. You can't have, you got to have everything in moderation. I think you need a mixture.
Oh God, yeah.
No overpowering balance one way or the other.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, I definitely agree. I think it was
Amazonian. That's right. Yeah, I remember that. They were all Amazonian.
Oh yeah, they were all much bigger. They were much bigger than all the men, and the men were all very let's just say clean shaven, and were wearing those outfits. It was like
that's right. Just pretty much suspenders on.
Funny stuff.
So Deep Space Nine.
Yes, Deep Space Nine.
I've got one. Yep, I got one series of characters that just like I got nothing wrong against the Bajorans, but those goddamn what do you call them? The high priest type ones. I can't even starts with.
Oh, the
Kai.
Oh God, Kai.
Yeah, the Kai. I think it's Kai. Yeah,
like Kai Wynn.
Yeah, Kai Wynn.
Kai Wynn. Yeah. I never liked her.
I really liked her in the last episode she was in. That was great. She did a good job with what happened to her.
Yes.
That's the only reason I like it.
Agreed.
That's what everyone wanted at the end of that series. Like, finally
get rid of her. Yeah, I couldn't stand her. Just so annoying. I mean, I wouldn't say she was bad. I mean, just the whole idea of.
Oh, she did a great job in being someone you despised. Just the way she was a Karen of the. Not to make anyone else angry, but we know what that phrase is being used for these.
That connotates, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, she was definitely one of the people.
Like everything she said was so triggering. She was like, "Oh, I love emissary. It's so nice to see you." It's like, "Fuck you! I don't like you."
It's like condescending and
my child. Every time she said "my child," I want to. What's really sad is I liked the first lady, like the one who was Kai originally. She was such a sweet lady. She seemed like a nun almost. She was so sweet, and she was in like 2 episodes, and then she was gone.
Yep, and the other guys that did pop up occasionally weren't actually too bad, but Kai Wynn was just so.
The Kai is the one who's like the leader. I'm trying to remember what the other ones are actually called.
Jim Teacher and Porkies. Noise. Yep. So she was definitely he drove me out the wall. Trying to think of some real bad episodes.
I got one. I didn't do homework. I just randomly typed in Google worst Star Trek episodes.
Yeah, I was going to do that. I just
DS9 didn't have a ton of really bad ones.
I had a few.
It wasn't really bad ones. There was some ordinary ones, but it
Yeah, well, here's one.
Remind us.
Deep Space Nine, who is without sin, where Worf and Dax go to Ryza, I think with Quark and Julian and Dabu.
I just watched that one. I thought that was actually all right.
It's on the list. I didn't pick that one but it's just kind of out of character for Worf. Worf's like, everyone's having too much fun, therefore no one will have fun, and I will sabotage everything. I don't think Commander Worf would think that's a good idea.
I literally only just watched that one because I wanted to see Jadzia in that outfit.
Yes.
Okay.
I cannot blame you for that.
But yeah, I must admit his character was kind of out of place. It kind of didn't fit. The way he was written in that episode just kind of didn't.
Only at the end did I believe he was Worf again when Jadzia was like, "Let's go skinny dipping." And he's like, "Yes."
Yeah, he's like, oh, "Okay." Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. He would actually be on Ryther. He'd just be like, "I'm here, whatever. Okay, my honor is sated. I'm going to have some blood wine and have a good time."
That's right. I'm gonna replicate some Targ and I'll be fine.
Was there anything else? There weren't many for Deep Space Nine. I mean, there's a lot that could be, people could comment on and be like, "Oh yeah," but that was the main one that seemed to pop up. Oh wait, Prophets and Lace. That's right. Oh, this is another one where I wanted female input because
that's what Donald just put the episode where Quark had to become a female was pretty bad, but relatively entertaining. Prophet and Lace was it called? Yeah, that's the one.
It was the one where his character Quark as a woman was obsessed with the body image, had emotional outbursts, and it was very overly dramatic. And it's like, well, you're trying to imply that women can do stuff, but you're playing on all the stereotypes the wrong way.
Yep. Especially with Quark's character already kind of a bit of a crazy.
Yeah, Quark being Quark.
Yeah,
but granted, I mean, in general, I have no idea how actual Ferengi female really are ever. But I have a feeling they're not like that.
No.
And again, I wanted female input just because whatever I say has no relevance to the whole thing.
No, well, that's the thing. I don't know where Adriana is, and
no, I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying I'll ask her about it later.
Yeah,
I'll be like, "What do you think of this episode? What did you think?"
Yeah, we'll take these into we'll put these into our logs for later. For sure.
We'll send
the ultimate explaining episode.
Yep. Other than these Space Nine episodes that show the station fully armed with lasers and torpedo launchers. Yeah, I just watched that one again as well when they were
fun stuff
going head to head with the Klingons
or the Dominion.
Well, the first one where they're going against Gowron's like,
oh yeah, the little standoff. Right, we've got you. He's like, I've got you. Aha!
Yeah, I've got like
Gowron was his crazy eyes.
Should I tell them? Yep. Should I tell the people who are coming in to come in firing, or you gonna leave?
Yeah.
And he gives him a little.
Marstock was really, really pissed off when Gowron was like, "No, that's it, done. We're out."
Well, he gave him the old. I think it was one of those moments where Worf is like, "I'm going to quote this random Klingon text about how running away to fight another day is good. So do that."
Yeah, go do that. Go sharpen your blades and come back another day.
Yeah, I think it was something about an empire falling is not good. Like winning the battle, but the empire falls kind of thing, not good.
Oh,
yeah.
We're talking about the episode where Worf and Gowron fight and Worf kills Gowron?
No, that's near the end. This is the one where
right before that.
Where Worf had said to Gowron, we're not going to do this, and Gowron got pissy.
I do remember that.
I think this is Way of the Warrior like part too, because it's like in season 4, beginning of season 4 when Worf came on. I think it was like that. Yeah, it was like the second part of Way of the Warrior.
It started right away. Worf had to find out why the Klingons were being so all over the place, and then they find out, they think that Cardassia has been taken over by Odos.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Way of the Warrior, season 4, episode 1 and 2. Yep.
Yeah. So as soon as Worf comes on, there's drama. Go figure.
But it was so cool when you see O'Brien and and Worf, and then Jadzia sees him first when they're in those stupid costumes.
Those costumes are amazing. I love those costumes.
Yeah.
So they hit the theater in me and Camelot, basically.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think DS9. There weren't a lot of really, really bad ones.
No, there are actually a lot of really good ones that we've talked about.
For all the flack that the first 2 seasons tend to get, which I don't think is warranted because part of what you had to deal with a series done in the way that DS9 was done was you had to do some world building and establish some relationships so that you could start really moving things forward, and it took them a couple of seasons to get everything pieced together.
Yeah, character development, basically.
But
you got to start caring. You got to start caring about the characters. If you don't, well.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, all the lovey-dovey stuff with Odo, I didn't care for. Yeah, that.
Oh God,
I don't remember that one.
I do.
Yeah, the Luxana, Troy, and Odo one. Yeah, that one was pretty shit.
She was immediately fascinated by Odo, and she got to hold him as a puddle, and they were best friends.
Yeah.
Forsaken.
She did take off her wig though. It's kind of she had a little bit of humility suddenly. She's like, yeah, no one sees me like this, so it's okay, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool seeing her come back and reprise her role, but yeah,
that was nice. It's always good. Well, not always, but it's nice to have characters from a previous thing show up. I always liked it when like Star Trek, and mingled with Deep Space Nine every now and then. Even from the other one, like the end of Next Generation, they were throwing in some Deep Space Nine stuff.
Yep.
Because that just kind of ties the whole world together,
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not just like Enterprise and then a space station. Done.
A separate thing, yeah, exactly. That's what was so cool about when you saw the Enterprise on the first episode of Deep Space Nine, and you've got Picard and you got the Enterprise at the top of the thing where they dock. The
loading dock. Pylon thing.
Yeah.
The fancy majigger with the thingamajog. It's fine.
Yeah, well, the Terek Nor Cardassian thingy, hook thingy.
Yeah, the big ships always were at top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, JG, it was a space station. The only time I can recall the space station ever actually moving was in the pilot episode, and that's because I remember watching the pilot. I was homesick from school when I watched the pilot episode on a little black and white TV, and I remember them having to put that shield bubble around the station to move it in front of the wormhole. That's the only time it ever moves because it's a space station. It doesn't move.
That was what Brian's doing right there. And him arguing with the freaking machine because it was not cooperating.
Yep, stupid Cardassian tech.
Very Scotty moment.
Yeah. Somehow figured it out. He's like, let's just put it in a bubble and it moves now. Yeah.
Turn into a giant deflected dish.
Although, in fairness, episodes where they left the station probably were a little more, I don't want to say exciting, but the change of scenery probably perked things up a little bit. Yeah,
away missions, man. They're always good. Especially when they had a wormhole. It's like, okay, we're going to go to a completely different part of the whole entire universe. Like that. See what's over there. Yeah. And of course they find Odo's friends and things kind of go sideways.
I think my least favorite of Deep Space Nine, because I love the Deep Space Nine overall, but I think my least favorite is when they just had, because it had an arc and story development, character arcs over the time, but when they just did a separate that was kind of out of place, that kind of bugged me a little bit. When they were just
talking about the mirror universe.
No, the mirror universe was still pretty cool. I actually liked the mirror universe in Deep Space Nine. I thought that was pretty cool. But when they just had an episode when it was by itself, that was just not part of like the story. It was out of place. You could watch that and not watch any other Deep Space Nine, and it'd be perfectly fine. You'd understand because it was a one episode in its own silo. Those kind of bugged me a little bit. Even though there was some good ones, but a lot of them were pretty They were just.
I'm trying to think of one. It's not coming to me.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus, Donald, is that DS9 was probably the series with the least shitty episodes.
True.
Yes.
Saying that, let's move on to Voyager, and Voyager. Boy, do we have some doozies.
Yeah, we do.
Well, you have to start with the first one. Lizards.
Oh my god.
Is that threshold?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as Brian was saying earlier about Danger One, it's kind of a shame that we don't have any of the
Our other crew
female
members?
crew. Yeah, the female crew members here to have input on the discussion, because there was just so much wrong with this episode.
Mm.
Oh, wasn't it? It was
Just
so
like
bad.
the entire premise of, hey, let's take these two characters who, in their regular human form, would never have any kind of intimate relations, turn them into lizards and have them fuck. What were you thinking?
Yeah, what?
And then it's just like,
salamanders, wouldn't they? Wouldn't even
and
lizards,
Something
we
like
finished.
that.
We finished the
Salamanders.
episode. Done. Never talk about it again. No, what the hell happened? What did they leave them there?
Yeah,
Did they
exactly.
break them with? What
Salamanders
did
in space.
catfish are tasty?
Yeah, catfish are tasty.
That was just so
Yeah,
bad.
they were like catfish, salamander,
I
lizard things.
will give 1 point for it though. Is that the whole like transmogrification of what's his name? I forgot already. I had it. The guy who did Warp Speed. No, the guy who did Warp Speed and got changed into a catfish. What was his name? Tom Paris. There we go.
Oh, Paris.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's a whole other episode. We'll
Is
get
it?
to that.
What's the
Yes.
lizard one?
Yeah.
I was
I
thinking
think
it was
that's-
that one.
Actually, you might be right.
Yeah, and I think that's the
I
one
don't
where
think
they
so, though.
Tom Paris hits a warp. He goes past warp speed, gets mutated. So like the transition phase where he turns into a catfish person was neat.
Yep.
Like the whole makeup and stuff they did. His like tongue falls out. That was disgusting and amazing. But then the end of it, where he just kidnaps the captain, goes to subwarp again, and they both turn into catfish and have children, and then that's it. That's the end of it. No explanation.
Lizard formication.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's all the same episode.
It's
Yeah.
a doozy. It's a doozy of an episode. Like, let's break warp speed. Okay. Wow, he's turning into a monster. All right. Okay, he's lost his mind. He's kidnapped the captain. Okay, they're catfish. They had children at the end.
Yeah, like what?
Ah.
And then didn't at the end of the episode, after the rest of the command crew went and got Lizard, Paris, and Janeway back,
Inoculation.
didn't Tuvok kill the children that they had created instead of just
Oh,
leaving
no.
them behind?
I feel like I would remember that, but I have no idea.
Hang on, I'm gonna look at the
I remember Janeway's comment where she's like, well, how do you know the female didn't engage the whole thing? And it's like, what? Ah, where are you going with this, Janeway?
yes, you're correct. They didn't do that. They
Yeah,
left them
that would be a
Come on, the
that'd be-
planet.
Star Trek.
Yeah,
series.
that would have been a bit beyond the pale.
yeah, I feel like I would remember
Yeah.
that part, but I just remember it just kind of ended, and that was the end of it. They had nothing else was said ever
Yeah.
about that episode. They did have another kind of weird. We were talking about the Irish episode where they had the Irish stereotypes on board. They did that with Voyager as well with the holodeck characters, where they, and this one specifically, they had a whole town of them. And at one of the episodes that came up for the worst of was the Spirit Folk one, where suddenly the holodeck characters were aware that the people from Voyager were a little weird, and maybe they were spirit folk, and everything just kind of goes sideways from there. And that's all it's called. It's called Spirit Folk. Irish holodeck characters turn on the crew because spirit folk. They're from beyond the void.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I was trying to remember it. I was like, yeah.
That was a weird one. I liked it kind of, but then again, I like anything where it's like, oh, Ireland. I wish I could go there, kind of feeling. Granted, there's
Yeah.
stereotypes. Granted, those are horrible stereotypes. As someone with Irish heritage, it's a bit like, oh.
Oh, the episode that had Rock and 7 and 9 fighting. Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Cheers, JG.
I don't know why.
Thanks for
but I
hanging
like
out.
that one. Again,
Cheers,
that's where
JJ.
everyone's wearing spandex. Cheers, sir. Bye-bye. Good whiskey stuff. Oh, it's past 12. I can have a drink. Yay.
Yep, you can drink.
Oh, I will show up my absolute worst bottle that I will give to people if they want to find out how horrible it is. It's way in the back. This is the one I mentioned earlier. this Johnny Walker blend thing is atrocious.
What are you going to
It's Johnny Walker's Blender's Batch, wine cask blend, blended Scotch whiskey. The word blend is on there 3 times. So, number 6, experiment number 6. And it is disgusting.
I've got a Johnny Walker on the table as well.
I just got the chills.
Black label?
Shitty black label.
Yeah.
So garbage. Black label. Garbage.
Oh, the regular black label? I started with that, other than like going in with Lefroy, but I drank a bunch of that at the beginning. I haven't gotten a bottle since, so I have to really return to it someday, just to see what I think now.
So how about the episode with Tuvix?
Oh, that one.
That's kind of a hard. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people hate that one, but some people don't mind Tuvix.
They love that decision where it's like the captain has to make this decision, and there's no good way about it. Like if she says yes, okay, there's a new being, but the 2 people she had before are just lost. And if she does, well, she kills that guy basically. So, but the 2 original people come back. So it's like, how do you answer this question that doesn't have a good answer?
Yep.
She answers it. She does the captain thing, and just and even the doctor, he's like, I can't. This is against my programming. She's like, okay, step aside. Boop. And I killed him, and now our crew members are back. Yay. God, I feel awful.
G'day, John. Welcome aboard.
G'day, mate.
The Klingon just got on the streetcar, yelling and swearing and smells like rotting meat. Yep, I'm sure he's a Klingon. Kapla.
You.
No, Klingons have a hint of lavender.
Yeah, that's right. They've got lavender. You remember the last episode?
They're like peated. They're slightly peaty.
It's
aroma.
peaty and with a hint of lavender.
Lilac. Sorry, lilac.
Lilac. That's it.
Get my flowers confused. Another Voyager one is The Fight, where Chakotay has to go on a little vision quest, and for some reason it's like Rocky 5. Doing this boxer thing for no apparent reason.
Yeah. Yep, that was...
I don't know if I liked many of the vision quest things, just because of playing on the stereotype there. It's like,
yep,
don't do that. I get you're trying to bring them into this world, but also you're not doing it quite right, I feel. But I didn't have to write the
always
script,
felt a bit. Yeah, I'm with you. Exactly with you as well. It felt cool that they were trying to introduce that, but the way they executed it, it was just it didn't feel right. And they could have explored so much cool stuff with that. I mean, you've got the cool stuff with the Vulcans,
It felt real weird when like Chakotay and Janeway are talking about. It's like, so what's your spirit animal? I want to know mine. Can I go? I can't tell you. Oh, should I find out what mine is? Let me go on a vision quest. Okay.
Like really? And with Jim Tuvix, just horrible. Not a fan of either character to begin with. I mean, I didn't mind Tuvok.
Tuvix.
I didn't mind him as
Tuvix.
Yeah, but I mean, not a fan of either character to begin with, so he doesn't.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Tuvok.
I like Vulcans anyway.
Yeah, I like Tuvok. Neelix. Some episodes I didn't mind him. Other episodes drive me out the wall. I mean,
he had a place. He had a place just kind of amid the chaos. So
yeah,
and he was trying to lighten things up a bit.
Yep, depending on how he was written in an episode, sometimes he was really cool, and other times he was just badly put in there.
He had some good ones as far as
Yep. Rob Beltran was never really much of a fan and didn't get along with anybody pretty much.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he was not very popular.
Is he the one who played? He's the one who played Chakotay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I can understand it. I know part of it was his character was not written great. I didn't have a lot of leading points unless he was like a random boxer on a Vision Quest thing. It's like I wouldn't want to play that.
Yes, man.
Good day.
Yeah.
Whiskey
I wouldn't
Mountains.
want to play that part.
Oh, there's Adriana.
Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil. Felt like
I didn't really have a problem with Tim Russ as Tupac.
No, I liked Tim Russ. I mean, I met him. I bought his music. I liked him as as a person and as the character. I didn't mind him.
He's doing some good stuff. Like the actor who played Tuvok is still out there and fighting the good fight. I actually like the character who played Tuvix. I don't know why, but there's something about his eyes. I don't know.
No worries,
I don't quite understand. But the actor who had to like come in and play this one specific thing that was very divisive, and kind of was able to play both characters. He brought a little one character, brought a little the other, and he sold it in an hour, which is not an easy actor thing to do.
True.
No, acting, he did a really good. Yeah, that was really well done. Yep, totally. He's actually a good actor, and he's done heaps of stuff in, like we say, where we should do a out of the universe canon Star Trek episode where we talk about all the other shows and stuff that have been done. Tim Russ has done a lot of other stuff outside of canon Star Trek.
So
of the two, yet Tuvok is just who he is. Neelix, the problem, is a character written to be so well-meaning yet failing so many times. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Cool character idea, but just really badly written sometimes in some of the episodes that just didn't fit in.
He kind of went through extremes.
Being sick, but cool to listen in.
Hope you feel on the comms. She's listening in.
Yep.
So, just to go off on a tangent here for a second, I think the problem, or what hurts Tuvok is, by default, because he is Vulcan, he gets compared against Spock, and because Spock was half human, half Vulcan, so his character was not a straight and narrow Vulcan.
Yep.
It's not a fair comparison, and it's one that Tuvok will never even come out even on.
No, he's never going to win that one.
Right. Yep.
Because you don't see, well, I'm trying to think, how many actual straight up Vulcans are there and that I'm thinking of that are like deeply gone into?
Sarek.
It's got to be. Yeah, Sarek. He's straight up Vulcan. But even him, he has moments in Next Generation when he has to mind meld with Picard, where he's falling apart basically.
Yeah, but that's because he had Bendai. He was ill.
Yeah. But again, it's showing a straight up Vulcan losing it, so there's emotion involved. Not exactly being half human, but there's where you see a Vulcan kind of getting emotional.
Well, they did explore that.
I suppose the argument you could make for Sarek, and this unfortunately falls on Tim Russ a little bit, is that if you go back to the original series films, to Star Trek 3 and Star Trek 4, Sarek in those movies was probably a better acted Vulcan than Tuvok ever was.
Early Vulcans, man, they knew what they were doing.
True.
Yes, John McElwain, the loss of logic. Bendai. But what was I going to say?
Sarek to Paul. Oh yeah, in the Bendai Syndrome episode, makes me cry every time. Friggin' Vulcan.
Oh yeah. I was so keenly aware of that thing. I was like,
You eventually stop being able to feel sorry for him. Let's agree with empathy, but it just doesn't make up for the writing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty sad. His race was nuked and everything, and he meant well and everything, but he was just sometimes they were trying to put comedy and levity into situations. It just came across bad.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he had extremes. Like sometimes he was like happy-go-lucky, da-da-da, I'm fine, and then something terrible would happen. He's like, rage! I will kill you. You killed my family. Prepare to die.
And Whiskey, you're right, Adrian. I mean, Sarek had an aura about him, like he was very wise, and
he was Sarek.
He was
even Picard looked up to him. Picard got all giddy.
Yeah, he was the father of Spock, and
he's still my heart.
He was the man. Whereas Tuvok, he was only young, relatively.
Tuvok was just there, and he spoke like this.
Yeah, he was just a Vulcan.
He's very Vulcan. Although he did have his moments as well.
Where Kes comes back to destroy Voyager was pretty terrible too.
I was just thinking about that and about Kes, and the actress's personal issues aside.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I feel bad saying that. Because what was the point of Kes? And then they have that whole episode where I haven't actually seen it, but I've read the entire synopsis. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Let's just use Cass, have Cass come back in time to destroy Voyager. What?
She's not happy.
When she originally actually helped them and pushed them further forward, and then she turned into a sun and shit. I'm like, what?
Her powers were beyond her control, so she turned into a star.
Lots of bad moments, and then out of all of the Star Trek characters that we know of, she went down the rabbit hole. That's for sure. Mark Lennon was interesting because he was the original Romulan leader too. Yep.
Yeah.
And Balance of Terror, I think that was that one.
Balance of Terror? Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Yep. I think you're right there.
I have one more to throw in as a episode that has some divisiveness, and this is actually from Enterprise. The very ending. These are the voyages.
Oh, fuck that episode.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like I said, there's some
that pisses me off so much.
Deep feelings.
I didn't watch a lot of Enterprise. I watched some of it, but to have the final episode of Enterprise be a bottle episode focusing on Riker and Troy, it's like, so you just took the entire 4 years of Enterprise and turned it into a holodeck joke.
Yep.
Way to end it.
Well done, jackasses.
Well, I'd actually, that kind of pissed me off as well. And it was really annoying because it just made it all null and void. But I wish they'd do that with Discovery. Boom, boom.
I mean, the only good thing about that episode was the little montage at the very end where they, panned through all the different ships doing the these are the voyages. Other than that, fuck that episode.
I did enjoy seeing like the actual Enterprise beginning, or the
I'll give you that.
The Federation becoming, that little historic moment. I liked that idea, but the way they portrayed it is
that was cool. Yeah, that's the only memorable bit of that episode. That's the only bit I really liked when he was there and he does that speech, and that was really cool. But all the rest of it was shite. Yeah.
And they just had to throw in this character dies bit as well. Done.
Yeah.
I did like the cook bit.
Speaking of Enterprise,
that was the only little thing.
It grew on me.
Oh, I remember. I'm like, what do you mean? Enterprise had? Oh wait, that one.
Yeah.
In a long road, getting from there to here.
There to here. Yep, that one.
Didn't they change that like halfway through?
They changed something about it. I don't remember what.
They changed something. Yeah.
You're kidding. Star Trek turned into a Harlequin romance.
Pretty much. Worst episode of Enterprise? Every intro. Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever saw it, I was like, oh, what? Oh, that was so... Oh, no.
Have you seen the... oh, God. I don't know if I want to say this one. So they took that intro and then placed it on top of the Deep Space Nine, like that intro. So they took that song and put it on top of that intro for Deep Space Nine. It's hilarious. It kind of links up. It's weird. It's like, what the hell is happening?
What's going on?
I'm going to argue that a little bit out around it. The only good intro of Enterprise was when they did the Mirror episode, the Mirror Universe episode, and they had that whole...
Oh, the Mirror Universe episode. Yeah, that was good.
That whole crazy intro with all like the war images and weird shit.
Yep. And then you had the big emblem come down with the sword in the Earth. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Mirror Universe always makes a mess of everything.
I
think that was it for my list anyway. That was everything I think I wanted to cover. Just the last one was These Are the Voyages episode.
Yep.
As far as newer stuff? Oh.
Yeah, let's talk about newer stuff.
Yeah, you guys can have at it with that one. I'm a little out of my depth there.
Well, I haven't
watched... You first, sir. You're the captain.
I haven't watched... I watched Lower Decks, the cartoon series, because I just wanted to see how it would go. I watched season and a half of Discovery, but I've seen every YouTuber commentator talk about every single episode at a nauseum long depth. So I don't need to watch them because I've seen everything about them, all the different opinions and explanations of plots and characters and the whole thing. So I'm pretty up to scratch on what has happened and what could have and all that stuff.
So that's interesting.
Picard, I got halfway through it. I can't do it.
You know, like where they took Picard.
The interesting thing about the intro is they choose to do it and record it as September 12th. Wow.
Yeah. So backtracking to that for a second, apparently Simon Pegg, and this might actually gain the post 2009 stuff a small modicum of respect in Ken's eyes. Simon Pegg hated that intro. He despised that. He didn't hate Enterprise. Remember, he mentions Admiral Archer in the reboot movie, which I thought was kind of fun, kind of funny.
Yeah,
bringing up Archer and his Beagle, which is. I'll come back to the Beagle in a second.
Just have a dog.
He thought that intro was awful and just a horrible way to start that show.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the imagery, but the music was just.
Yeah, the music was
Why
one
did
of
they
his
have
biggest
to go
gripes.
with
Like,
a,
why would you
vocal?
do that?
Yeah, there was no reason to have
Going
a
back to the
vocal.
Beagle. What the fuck?
Gonna have dogs in space.
Yeah, let's have a dog roaming around on a starship. This isn't gonna end well. Shit stains all over the carbon.
You have to think about the time and place. The time and place.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
I'll give you that.
But not only, but then on the other side of the coin, this is like the first, there was still the military, and that was the first time on a ship. You wouldn't have a dog.
No.
I mean, this is like you don't have a dog on a submarine or an aircraft carrier. I mean, during the war they did. They crew would grab a pet cat or something, but
it could be a nod. In my brain, it's just a weird. It's a
animal.
weird, twisted nod towards. There was a dog sent to space. I don't think it came back, but
Micah.
There was.
She was sent by the Russians, and no, she did not survive.
That's the only thing I can
And that's
even
fair,
remotely
Donald.
bring that to.
That's a good point. Data head spot.
That's what they were going for. Data head spot. Which
that's
appeared
fair.
to a lot of people.
And here's a
what they
twist.
had to be.
If you were ever paying attention, Spot had a sex change somewhere along the lines. If you actually pay attention, he says he, and then suddenly the cat has kittens, and
whoops.
Yep, different cat.
a bit weird.
And I mean, we see other races have pets. Like, was it Captain Cruz in Star Trek 3 had that?
Had the Targ, pet Targs. Yep.
I don't think it was the Targ. Was that weird? That thing he had
Targs.
by his captainship. That big, spiny.
I think it was a Targ. It was his pet Targ.
Who had a Targ? I'm confused.
Captain Krug.
Krug?
Yep.
Captain Krug is. I know there was a Klingon that had a pet Targ, and he was a scientist. I don't know where I got this from. Who was the scientist that was kidnapped?
I don't even remember Picard having a pit bull. Oh,
The new Picard.
Yeah. Yep.
New Picard. Not old Picard, new Picard.
Oh, that's right, because
I
Andrew really loved. Yeah, it was a Targ. Yeah, it was a pet Targ. Yeah, the cat's an old sailing ships because of the rats can't. Yep, that's exactly right. You'd have.
That's true. Yeah. I
Scientist.
imagine you wouldn't want that around. Yes, that's the whole Enterprise twist where they explain why Klingons didn't have the Klingon bit in the early series.
Yep.
There's a reason for it. I'll let you go watch it and figure it out. It's kind of funny how they did it. But it worked. And, there's a Klingon scientist who had a pet Targ.
Yep. No, not a pet Targ. Targ.
I said Targ.
Yeah, I know. We all said Targ, but Chris went, sorry, but I was distracted and it sounded like you said a pet tug.
It's a pet tug.
A pet tug. Yeah, pet tugboat.
Targ's just slimy, though. I think Jim is thinking of something else.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. I'm just curious as why Picard had a lionfish in TNG. That's true. He had that big lionfish
Mm.
in the tank.
But was it a real lionfish? You never saw him feed it.
No,
And how
that's
could
true.
you with that bulb thing? Unless like the top came off. It was just this giant circle thing. It's like, what? How? I can't really picture Picard being like, "And here you are, fishy, fishy, enjoy."
Yeah.
I just can't see it. I mean, maybe, but
Have you
it never
seen?
happened.
Have you seen the thing about with the crystal that Picard always had? It was on his desk and it was always in his hand, and you never noticed it until you watch this thing where there's a montage of all the times he has it, and your brain just goes, "What?"
The crystal?
Yep, there's a crystal he holds in his hand.
I wouldn't be
He's
surprised if
always
he
got
had one because he was an archaeologist. But I don't think it. Oh, I only remember him like beeping on little pads all the time, but maybe he did have something. I'm gonna have to look that
He's
one
got
up.
this crystal. Quite a few episodes, it's on his table, and he picks it up, and he's always got it in his hand. And you never fucking. That's the thing. You never notice it until you watch this montage where they're talking about it, and your mind just goes, "What?"
Oh, I'm sure
you go back and you spot it.
I can.
It's one of those ones.
Think of that as a thing he would do.
Yep.
Just fiddling with something just to distract you, or not distract you, just to make it seem
Google,
natural.
Picard crystal, and you'll see it. There's like this video about it.
Suddenly, I find out there's crystal meth called Picard.
It's really good. It takes you.
I gotta call my guy. What is the crystal on Picard's desk? Good question.
Transporter feed the lionfish. Yep, you just beam the food into the lionfish. Don't even feed it beat it into the water bowl. You just beat it straight into the lionfish. Dilithium crystal. I don't think it was dilithium. It was like a piece of.
That'd be bad. I feel like dilithium crystal is not something you should just hold.
I mean, maybe it's a spent dilithium crystal.
I can understand, but still, I always if he has a crystal, it's probably an archaeological thing, much like that really weird.
Yeah, I can't remember where he got it from.
His mentor gave him that thing, whatever it was, and I think you see that in the background eventually after he gets it.
Did you guys hear about the flute that sold for like?
Did it?
Yeah.
The amount of
what
money it went for?
I have no idea how much it went for.
$20,000 or something.
Tell you in a second.
I want a fake flute that looks like that, and then I'll say I bought it.
You can get them. There's actually guys that make them.
But does it sound like it should? That's my real question: is does a flute that plays like that when they play the music does it actually sound that way? I hope it would, but I have no idea if it does.
Well, the one that's in the movie was just a prop; it didn't play at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it was a beautiful song, but I don't think it. I don't think it ever actually played.
Yeah, I think it's the most emotionally wrenching song ever.
Yes,
that come out of Trek.
There we go. Mandela effect.
Yeah, the Mandela effect of that crystal.
$48,000 US.
Whew.
That's it. I knew it was pretty high. There may have been some Oscars in there with the lionfish, so he was scared of the top of the tank because of Oscar attack. So overall, what is it that makes it a bad episode? Do you think it's just when they're too far from the Star Trek premise, or just a stupid plot? Just asking. I think the latter more likely.
Yeah, Whiskey Mountains. We went over a lot of them.
Badly written. Yeah, badly written.
I mean,
badly written or badly, there's some underlying thing that didn't quite feel right, or it's just completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about the episode where Crusher falls in love with the ghost. It's just, well, okay.
I must have missed that.
An empty, not a ghost.
That was early. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the two lizards.
The lizard story, the Ferengi introduction. The ones we did want some female input on were, where were they? The one where there's a matriarchal society.
Angel 1.
Yep. Yeah, Angel 1, and I portrayed that. That was a bit.
So right around, if you want to chime in on that, please feel free.
Yeah, please.
And the Quark as a female one.
Quark as a woman. That was another one where it's just like, what?
Yeah.
What else?
The dilithium just exploded all over. The
Oh,
two
someone's trying to beam you away there for a second. Glad it didn't happen.
And the warp core containment is failed. Goodbye.
So what do you think of overlay, Tim?
Oh yeah,
What do you think of the overlay?
Really cool. It's really cool.
Yep. And I did the triple thing. Actually, I can play that so you can see what it sounds like.
Has anybody tipped you yet?
Nah, but I can do it. Here we go.
Wake up. Donated fellas.
So I assume if somebody donates a higher amount, he'll get the other picture and then the explosion sound.
I haven't done that one yet, but I will do that one. Yeah. Actually, I haven't even tried. Let's see if this actually works. Doesn't look like it. I think it's broken. Even though this is a completely new overlay, but it didn't. Oh, there it goes.
Bit of a delay.
Hey, it works.
Don't do that again. Ever.
Hippies in bikinis, over the top trends, reptile fornication, and ghost romance is bad trick. Yep. Yep. Exactly. It doesn't try to pretend that women in power would be way better. It just emphasizes that there would be no difference in how genders treated. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we would still kill people and executions. It still happen.
Yep. Bad shit's still going to go down.
Oh, excuse me. Ugh. I'm focused on this. I'm falling down the rabbit hole trying to figure out about this Picard crystal thing now because I'm sure I'm going to.
Oh, the crystal, yeah. It's. I need to.
I'm seeing it. I see pictures where he's like got it in his hand for some random reason. Just.
Yep, and there's one where there's a whole montage of all clips with it in his hand, and it's just
trying to find.
Yeah, full on Mandela effect.
Devon Cop. Thanks for subscribing.
Nice.
Nice.
Good day. Ben Torblid. Ben.
G'day, Ben.
Coming in with his usual comments.
Pop Pukers in. Space.
I like the pause. It actually worked.
Good day. Bauer Ben.
Now he's back. His alter ego.
So I think the subscriber pop-up needs to be like a little clip of someone getting beamed away. Some suitable clip or getting beamed onto the ship or something.
Yeah. I want to have some red alert ones and beam away stuff. I'm going to do some all cool stuff.
Yeah, we need to find a use for those green alert and blue alert gifs.
Yep. Well, I want to put them up with something that towards the end. I can do it as a timer when it comes up to 2 hours. It'll come up with it. Oh, there we go. There's the description. So I haven't. That was a cork pop. I haven't changed that to a cool Star Trek sound yet. Thanks, Devon Cobb, for subscribing.
Thank you.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm going to add a whole bunch of cool stuff. But yes, Adriana, look up the Picard crystal and see when you see that montage, and it's full on Mandela effect.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube. I tried looking it up in Google and it just sent me a lot of weirdness. But it did send me the Picard Data song, which I love. No one knows about that one.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, whatever he says. It's a weird song, but it's amazing. It's a remix, of course.
Yes. I think the crystal is supposed to be a reminder of Picard's past failure. It was ages ago when I saw it. I mean, it'd be at least 10 years ago when I saw the thing about it. But just, completely forgotten about it until just then I triggered my memory. I was like, oh, that's right, that crystal.
I'm seeing the pictures. He does have this crystal in his hand, but I do like the idea that him as an actor and his as a Shakespearean actor would have this little thing that would be so subtle, but it'd seem totally natural and you wouldn't notice. But it would somehow add to the character and what they're doing. I love that kind of shit.
Oh yes, so I've made this Whiskey Trek shirt, so you've got them in the 3 colors. So there's a gold one, a red one, and a blue one. and it's just got the Delta with the Glencairn in it.
Nice. There'll be no copyrights coming after us. Never. I hope. That'd be really weird.
Well, it's
You
a
can't
Delta.
sell that.
Yeah, that would be weird. Why not?
But it has
I
nothing to
made
do with Star Trek. It has to do with whiskey.
I think it's supposed to be right to the death of Weatherly Crush's father. Oh.
Maybe. That was. I think he died in a. He had to cut him off. There was like a fire or something. I don't remember. But I know he had to make a decision. Like, you know, you need to get out before this moment, or I gotta close the door. One of those.
Some point about him being a Shakespearean actor. Yep.
I know shit about theater anyway, sort of. Not really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, I don't think it was ever specified why he had that crystal. It did appear in 78. No, what was it?
Occurrences. Yep.
Yeah, it appeared frequently, but I don't think they ever specified why he had it. But
it's a prop. It was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably meaning.
I did find in my Googling no fewer than two different companies who were selling replica
Oh yeah, there's definitely replica
props of that crystal for like $100 or more.
Yep.
I can go outside for a little while and find a rock that looks shiny and done. Got my Picard crystal.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Actually, I could just do one of these. Hold on, let me pick one. Here we go. This one looks pretty good.
I don't want to get hit for copyright if I do that. That's for sure.
Right, that would not be good. All you have to do is have something in.
And not only that. Well, I could have it for a very short amount of time, but then it's just going to be stuck in everybody's head. It would be really, really
annoying.
Yeah. I mean, that is an earworm for all earworms, especially for. You know that Star Trek is great when Mrs. Schlumpton takes a moment to comment on instead of what? Okay.
What?
Gotta read the comment first.
Oh, okay. I think I know what Donald's talking about.
Mr. Lucas.
All right, so going back to the new stuff, what's everyone's general overall opinion? Let's have a look at the poll. Do you like post 2009 Trek? So the Kelvin movies, Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks. 35%. So we got 17 votes. 35% yes, 0% no, and 65% kind of sorta.
So there's no solid no's.
Nope. Me, it's a no.
Yeah, for you, definitely no.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Picard for it being a thing. Like I again, as soon as I heard about Picard coming back, I was like, oh yay! But I can see plenty of people who would criticize it. I can see a lot of things I didn't particularly like about it, but there are also a lot of moments I really enjoyed throughout the series. I know when Picard meets up with Hugh again, that was nice. When spoilers, by the way, and
sure. We didn't say what happens, but yeah.
no, I don't say any more than that. I know that you got to meet him again, which was nice.
No.
And there was a moment they shared that was beautiful, and trying to merge the things together. Like you have a 7 of 9 coming in. It's like, you know, you're pulling in all these other characters. So I understand they're trying to do that thing, which I enjoy happening when they were trying to cross over, trying to make it more of a world thing, which I like.
Yep.
And some of the new characters. Some of the new characters that bring it in, I'm like, I like it, but also all you did was add an elf, and you know, he literally has sword, and it's Legolas. What are you doing? Stop that.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like they're just like, let's throw in a Legolas, okay? What else? Some of the episodes are hilarious.
Go. Somebody click no.
Good day.
Oh,
Nigel
didn't have
Hines.
the note option work? Wonder have clicked it, but wonder if that's issue. No.
Oh, Nigel.
G'day, Nige.
Yeah, most of us are at
Enjoyed
least a
some
little bit
episodes of
indifferent,
Picard.
or have. Yeah, there are some episodes I enjoy. Some of them I like, but not for the reason I would like Enterprise. There's an episode where they have to go in as like subterfuge, and you literally have Picard doing with horrible French accent, and he's got an eye patch on, and he speaks like this the entire time.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Like
amazing.
we're talking
and also
about with the
terrible.
Irish thing, that was as bad for the French
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. It was bad, especially for some character who's supposed to have, grown up in France, has French heritage, has a freaking vineyard in France. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But
it
was the costume design of that was both atrocious and amazing. So, what else? There's more, but again, I don't want to spoil
The
anything.
Nige was the no. I'm with you, Nige.
I got teary about the ending because I love Data and I don't like what happened to Picard at the end. I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, the whole flowers in space.
That was a weird one too. It's like, they're sending flowers at us. Like, yes, they are. That is peculiar. What the hell is happening?
And they want to kill all sentients, and then whatever.
Yeah,
And
I was really curious to see.
They wanted to kill them, and then she doesn't want to kill them, and I was like, "What?
I made a horrible mistake." It's
Anyway.
one of those moments. What have I done?
Yeah.
A typical trope.
Like, really?
Yeah, but I really wanted to see what those things were. We kind of saw them for a second, but part of me was like let a few through, and I want to see they just destroy like the bad guys for a little bit.
It was a purposeful caricature, but it was pretty bad.
I think he loved doing that. That was my problem. Like he had to come in here.
You could
and
also use a glass toy that might look like it could fit in a Glen
Good day.
can and call it the Crystal 2.
Jim Morris.
just get a crystal gun Karen and always hold it in your hand. I can do that.
Yeah, I've got one of them. They're heavy.
I will
Don't
have one
bring
of
up
them
the
eventually.
French. Oh, don't bring up the French. A little unhappy after losing the rugby tonight. Good.
All right.
No, the French played rugby.
If they'd only made Picard Starfleet Academy, well, that was originally what the rumors were, that's what they were going to do.
Well,
That
like
could've
back
been
in
cool.
time, or Picard working at the Fleet Academy, or
Working
That could
at
be interesting,
Starfleet Academy.
I don't think he would like that.
Mm,
I mean, I can kind of see Picard as a teacher, but
yeah, I can see him doing it.
Well, there was
like
a cool-
part-time adjunct thing, but I don't see him working there full time.
No, there was a cool plot where he was going around the universe doing his archaeology thing,
oh, that'd be cool.
and then he finds
Like
something that
Indiana
like, the
Jones
Klingons
Picard,
find
yay!
on this one. Yeah. But then it was like a whole thing that he finds something that everyone else is trying to find, and there's a whole thing over it.
Why did it have to be Nausicaans?
In my head, they had an entire episode where that happened, and it was pretty well done. I think Picard had to deal with his archaeological side.
Without saying too much.
I mean, Adriana's saying that would be boring with the Picard thing at Starfleet, but I think if it's done similar to what, like I said earlier, Cobra Kai, if it's done like that, where you got that series still planted in how it was, but in the future, and then you introduce it, but well integrated with the new era at the same time.
When you said that, I went backwards. Like you said, Picard's Starfleet, and I went, you mean a whole series about Picard in his younger days, or?
Nah, I think that's the number one problem with all this stuff.
That'd be unbearably hard to pull off.
Yeah, backwards is the worst thing. I hated the whole storyline of Picard becoming an android. I thought it was stupid. Yeah, it is stupid.
Oh, God, spoilers. But yes, it was a bit, it's like, wow.
Jones Senior Picard, not Jones Junior. But yeah, let's see what happens with the next series.
Oh yeah, yellow alert or red alert, whatever it is.
Yeah, yep.
We need to have that like happen where everything just flashes yellow or red, just because.
It's going to. I'm going to make it
good.
There'll be a yellow alert actually pop up, and then a red alert when it gets down to last minute.
Nice.
I will make that happen. I can do that.
I don't want to give you more work, sir.
Automatically. It'll do it automatically. It'll be cool.
Nice. Good forward to it.
Nice. So the new movie rumor.
Uh-oh.
Jim wasn't here when we talked about that earlier. Do you think that's is just another hyped up
Pass whiskey
rumor, like all the other ones that have happened?
I don't keep up with rumors. I like to be in the dark. I like to not know until it's happening. You know, if it's actually happening, great. If it's a rumor, it's a rumor.
The director of WandaVision.
Ooh.
Being tapped to direct the next movie.
He's like, I liked WandaVision because I grew up watching Nick at Night. I don't know why. So I remember like Dick Van Dyke and that kind of thing. I Love Lucy. All that good stuff. All that not good stuff.
There you go. That will come up automatically with the sound, so it'll be cool. Nice. Good morning, Donna Pass. You do love the new setup with the Star Trek display? Cheers, Adrian. Yeah. I was mucking around with that today. It's pretty cool.
It just makes me want to poke at my screen, though.
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, this is a touchscreen too, but it won't do anything if I.
Oh, you have a touchscreen? Okay, I don't. I have to actually get a new monitor. That's my latest thing is to upgrade because the one I had went kaput for no good reason, and I have a replacement which is working, but it's not as big. And as strange as it says, size matters with the screen. So I want the one that was bigger again.
Yeah,
I need to find a new one, especially for
big screen.
Yeah, streaming and PC gaming, is a thing.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't expect to get a touchscreen one, but I just need to figure out what I can afford, which is nothing at the moment. So we'll see.
Yeah, I know the feeling. This actually touched on the laptop. I never use it. Always like the good old fashioned mouse.
Yeah, my dad has one like that.
Why can't all software look like that all the time? Welcome.
Oh, the last 2 minutes are the worst. It's like we need to talk a little more. But about what? We're done.
Just perfect Scotty reference. Oh, yeah, I knew somebody would get it. Have you got the red alert there, Jim? Load it up.
I can get it.
Do it. So somebody can type.
All right, 2 things we've learned today is look up Picard Crystal on YouTube and also look up the Data Picard song, because it's amazing.
Yep.
And also, love it or hate it, Star Trek's amazing. There's always going to be something for someone.
Do it.
Just like whiskey. Yeah, I brought it all together.
Yes. Whiskey and Star Trek. Hell yeah. Greatest combination ever. Mm-hmm. And yes, there is merch if you want to get yourself a Star Trek shirt with the insignia on it. So you can come on as a red shirt or a command if you're in that rank.
Adrian, I have Eagle Rare because it's kind of my default pour these days. And it is, it's just almost 1. So I didn't want to go with some high proof yet.
So I've got the Tomatin 2019 Vallejo Hogshead. So this is a French wine, dessert wine. Only just got this arrived yesterday.
Nice.
Jeez, I can get a 75-inch touchscreen for $5,000 Australian. Yay, 20-point touch. Now that's how you watch Star Trek.
Yeah, just send that my way. I'll pay you later.
Yep. I'll have one too, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Red alert.
Oh, there we go. Red alert.
Put her down.
Then we just need the sound.
Playing it.
But I'm going to have that as a command so people can type that in for red alert and it'll come up as well. Nice. All that kind of cool stuff. Nice. And I think in the merch thing you can get a cup and a mouse mat. But the website's a bit buggy at the moment.
Nigel, I have that one. Hopefully, I'll be able to try it sometime in the future. In the future.
Oh, the Klein Leash Game of Thrones. Didn't you do that one on your review?
I don't know. I did 4. I don't remember what they are, but I might
I'm
have.
trying to remember which ones you did. I know you had the logo.
Yeah, that's the problem. I did 4, and then I have 4 more, and I don't remember which. All right, folks.
But I like Klein
Good
Leash.
night. Good morning. Good evening. Good day. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yep.
We will catch
Thanks
you
for
later.
watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks with something.
Okay, episode review. The next one is episode review of the Pale Moon Light, Deep Space Nine.
Oh, that'll be fun. I like that. I don't know what the hell I'll pour, but I'll pour a
Pale
big
Moon
one,
Light.
whatever it is.
Yep.
Cheers,
I'll
all.
be doing that as well.
Or sláinte.
Cheers, all. Hang around in the background, guys.
Okay.
Where's the end button?
It's right where you left it.
I've got my end screen thingy. Here we go.